Good morning. An important judgment is that a case which was a specific performance suit was referred to Permanent Lok Adalat, and unfortunately Permanent Lok Adalat uh, uh, returned it, closed it, because there is no proper remedy was available. Against that, appeal was prepared, memorandum of appeal. There was an objection that this disposal of permanent Lok Adalat tantamounts to res judicata or not, that was disputed. And the AR 2021 Chhattisgarh 118 Rajendra Singh Ajmani versus Pulkanwar case, they have decided that this case decided by the Permanent Lok Adalat may not tantamounts to res judicata, and therefore the lower court order dismissing the suit on the ground of res judicata was set aside, and further the High Court also directed to pay the entire court fee paid on appeal. So these two important cases, Legal Service Authority Act was deeply discussed, and you have gotten a subject of Legal Services Act also while you are preparing for Assistant Public Prosecutor exam. So go through this case. It cannot be said that the claim of plaintiff for specific performance of contract is hit by principle of res judicata. Plaint cannot be rejected on that ground. Suit restored for press consideration. Fee paid on memorandum of appeal refund at the time of remanding matter. Court fee paid in memorandum of appeal can be refunded. Supreme Court judgment was also followed. Kindly go through that. Then, as I discussed yesterday, section 34. I have some few cases for your reference. Assault at spur of the moment without premeditation, no common intention. Each appellant liable for his own individual act. Deceased is succumbing to injury inflicted by appellant 2. Appellant 2 rightly convicted under section 304 part 2 IPC. Therefore, they say the appellants only intend to vent their ire against their neighbor for having assaulted their bullock. Having been better equipped with an iron rod and a knife, there was no occasion for them to scamper away when confronted by others, especially when PW1 was an old man, age 61. If there exists no common intention, each appellant was liable for own individual acts. That was the case. So you go through the judgment. That judgment, Lakshmi Chand versus State of Uttar Pradesh 2018-8 Supreme 757. Kindly take down. Then the another case also, section 34, common intention, strained relations in family and giving evasive replies cannot be attract section 34. In absence of common intention, none of the accused can be convicted. Appellants held entitled benefit of doubt. They say the inference of common intention must be based on more tangible material as to hold all the accused appellant to be jointly and vicariously liable for the crime committed. It is possible that one of the accused has committed the crime, but in the absence of evidence to draw an inference of common intent, none of the accused can be held liable. Therefore, Tapan Sarkar, etc. versus State of West Bengal. This is 2018-6 Supreme 33. Then the one another case, it was in favor of the prosecution. Eyewitness establishing that A1 and A2 went to the house of the deceased, called him out, took him away, attacked him with knives. Ingredients of section 34 squarely attracted. Not required to establish that if any one particular accused who is responsible for causing fatal injury, no infirmity in conviction. So this will also section 34 must go with 38. I understand you can go through these judgments specifically. Then I would like to uh, discuss about actually what 35 says. 35 says whenever an act which is criminal only by reason of its being done with criminal knowledge or intention is done by several persons, each of such persons who jointly in the act with such knowledge or intention is liable for the act. That was the section 35 says. Then these things I have already discussed. You see how charges are framed. That you, name of the accused, on or about so and so at the party corner, along with B, C, D, and E, joined in furtherance of common intention, committed a criminal act of kidnapping, wrongfully concealing, and committed offence of rape of G, punishable under section so and so within cognizance of this honor. And I hereby direct that you may be tried by the said court on the said charges. This was the charges, because framing of charges vital question to be asked you. Then they say A and B are so far section 37. A and B are joint jailers and as such have charge of Z, a prisoner, alternatively for 6 hours at a time. A and B intending to cause Z death, knowingly cooperating in each causing that effect by illegally omitting each during time of pattern to furnish Z with food supplied to them for that purpose. Z dies of hunger. Both A and B are guilty of murder of Z. This is what doing one of several acts constituting an offence, section 37 says. Then I have discussed about 38 already the other day. Then I will again read it. Section 38. 38, that what I said, A attacks Z under such circumstances of grave provocation. So one who sustained provocation causing some injury and some other person without provocation, he indulged in eliminating him. Therefore, for provoking 304 was awarded, for other person 302. See, very simple question to understand 34 was that if a person coming by bicycle was stopped by his friend, he asked that cyclist to drop in front of the street where somebody has to pay him some amount. Therefore, as a friendly request was there, the cyclist took him to the first front side of the road. There he got down and asked him to pay the amount. He was not properly answering. In turn, misbehaved. Therefore, the person who was a pillion rider of the cyclist took a knife, stabbed him, and asked his friend to run away. Therefore, cyclist took him back and ran away from him. So, in this case, whether 34 would attract or not, but the courts are held that 34 would not attract, because the cyclist's intention was not to accompany the accused to cause the hurt to the his friend, namely the complainant, and fleeing away from scene of occurrence and helping him to run away place is also natural, because there is his apprehension of being attacked by other persons. Therefore, it is natural that neither way he shared the common intention. But on contra, if a person is caught hold by one person and the other one is stabbing him, definitely this is tantamount to sharing the common intention. So far, this 34 inference of common intention is also has to be widely discussed 143 to 149 IPC. That chapter we will discuss by later on. Best wishes.